Hi everyone, hope you all are doing great. My name is Partharu, and yes, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all who all are joining us globally. And I welcome you all to the another episode at Microsoft Reactor. Before we start our today's event, let's go through our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, participate together. So please be respectful of other people's views, understanding the differences. Be kind and consider in a way we all engage. Yes, we do encourage you all to participate. Please drop all your questions in the comment section and we'll pick it up from there. And yes, today's session, I would like to welcome Nikhilesh. He is at the backstage. I like to bring him up. Hey, hi Nikhilesh, how are you?
Yeah, hi Parth. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great, all good. Today's event sounds exciting, like building multi AI agent systems. Like the floor is all yours, and you can begin the session.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, thanks everyone for joining this session. Let me share my screen. So, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Uh, where? Uh, what
Yes,
about others?
we
Can
can
we?
see.
Can
We
we?
can see. Yeah, yeah, we
We can
can. We
see.
everyone can see the screen. Yes.
And would you like? So we'll talk about AI agents. So AI agent is the hottest
Oh,
topic
Akhilesh,
in the and
one,
yeah.
one, one. Sorry to stop here. So one small thing. Can you introduce a bit of yourself? You've been doing. You've been done such a really great work. Yeah.
Yeah. So Uh, my name is Nikhilesh. I teach artificial intelligence and large language models, generative AI to basically senior IT professionals. I'm also a guest faculty for generative AI at IITs and NITs. So this is what I do. Earlier, I did a couple of startups. One was in video creation space, and other was on recruitment. So this is what I do currently. Uh, So, and I'll also talk about myself maybe in the end. So, we'll talk about the AI agent system today. AI
Yes, the
agents
floor
are
is
like
yours.
the hottest topic currently in the entire technology world. Everyone talks about that how AI agent system can be the new software development. So before we start, can we do this exercise? Maybe if you guys could write on in the comment section. What do you think? What is the first one? Apart, where can I see the uh, comments? Hello,
You can see in the comment sections.
I am not able to see the comment section. Like where exactly?
Yeah. So
Do we have any response?
yeah.
But I am not able to see those response.
Okay.
Uh,
Strange, but yeah, I can see on YouTube.
can we?
I can
You
see
can
it on
see.
YouTube.
Just hold on.
prompt vision, prompt. Yeah.
Just hold on. Let me. Yeah, right. So now I can see. Great. So yeah, so the first one is prompt, second one is vision. Now what else? What could be the third one? Can you see, can you see my screen? Yeah. What could be the third one? Any guesses? Right. How do decoders work? How do decoders decode? What else? So there could be multiple answers here. What else? Think more. What? How do decoders function? Right. Now, what could be the fourth one? Today we will. Today we will learn AI. What else? Today we will use AI. What else? Today we will learn, discuss AI. Today we will implement AI. What else? Okay, what last one? Dash our attention units. What are attention units? Where are attention units? Right. So the point of doing this exercise was that the way you were thinking, ChatGPT also does the same. It may look like that ChatGPT can do so many stuff, or basically can do variety of stuff like uh, writing code or writing poetry or generating so many answers. But at its core, it's only predicting the next word or the missing word. That's it. That's what ChatGPT is doing at its core. Based on probability, it's just predicting the next word or the missing word. So now let's talk about natural language processing. So let's start with some basics and then we'll quickly come to AI agent. So we know that in order to interact with a computer system, we need to write code. Now, what is a code? Code is a set of instructions written in a programming language. It could be Python, Java, PHP, these languages. Now, these languages are high level languages. So they first get converted into low level language and ultimately into binary, and then only computer can understand it. However, like today, we talk to Alexa and Alexa replies back. Now, how does that happen? How computers actually started understanding our natural language like English, Hindi, German, French, Marathi, how computers started understanding our natural language. So the field of AI that deals with natural language is known as natural language processing. Now, let's consider this scenario that you only know English. You don't know any other language. And if I ask you to translate these German words into Hindi, what would be your approach? You'll somehow try to translate these German word into English, and then you translate English word into Hindi. Now, what is the language that computers understand? Computers computers also understand only one thing. What is that? So, any answer? What computers understand? Binary, right? So they only understand binary, and if you go one level up, they only understand numbers, as Vijay rightly mentioned. So they only understand numbers. So now if we have to make computers understand text or string, we need to convert string these text into numbers. So if you see that if we have this sentence that this is a great way to learn AI. And if we assign this as 1, is as 2, so then this sentence that this is a great way to learn actually becomes a number vector. It becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Similarly, other sentence becomes another number vector. And once we converted these sentences into numbers, now basically computer can do mathematical operations, can figure out a pattern and can understand the language. So this is how we started NLP, or basically this is how computers started learning language. And the process of converting words into numbers is known as tokenization. So just to give you an example, if you see, like there are couple of small patterns here. If you see, number 2 always comes at the second position in all the three sentences. Number 2 is coming at second. Now what does 2 represent? 2 represents is. That means more often than not, is comes at the second position in a sentence. So just a very simple example how computers understood, okay, is normally followed by a word. And then you see 6 is always after 2. So what is 6? 6 represents the word 2. So if you see, normally 6 comes after 2. So these are very small patterns. So the idea is that you convert words into numbers. And why we convert words into numbers? So that computers can do mathematical operation. So if you see here, what is tokenization? Tokenization is a way to replace English with a language that computers can understand. And why we want to do that? So that model can perform mathematical operations on the number. So that's how model started understanding words. But the thing is, language is not that simple. Language has many complexities. One complexity is that, consider these three words. The word bank has two meanings. One is your financial institution, other is river bank. Now consider the second word. The way you pronounce it, it meaning changes. Content means satisfied. Content means contents that you create for social media or watch on social media. And the third word, read, its past tense has the same meaning, but you pronounce it as read. But this it's the same word. So now if you just assign a number to the word, how will computer understand what, you know, if you just say bank equals to 42, now how computer will understand that, will this bank represents your financial institution or your river bank? So now consider these three sentences. So I am going to bank to deposit money. We sat on the river bank and had a picnic. I am content with my job. I am making content for social media. I read newspaper every day, but I read a book yesterday. So now if you just specify, if you just say read equals to 32, how will computer understand you are talking about past tense or present tense? So we got the solution in the form of transformers. So transformers was launched in 2017, and they have a very cult paper called Attention is All You Need. So what does GPT stand for in chat GPT? What is the full form of GPT in chat GPT? Any guesses? What does GPT stand for in chat GPT? Any anyone likes to guess what is GPT in chat GPT? So it's generative pre-trained transformer, a transformer which is pre-trained and which can generate. Generative pre-trained transformer, right? Right. So now basically ChatGPT is also kind of a transformer only, right? Generative pre-training is pre-trained derivative. So this is now, let's try to understand transformers. So transformers have self-attention mechanism. In order to understand, let's consider an example that if I come to you and if I say I had a productive day today, my task completed before time, more often than not, like most people, for most people will answer to these two lines were like good for you. But if I come and if I say I had a productive day today, my task completed before time, I also got a promotion today at work. Now, what would be your reply? If someone comes to you and say I had a productive day today, my task completed before time, I also got a promotion today at work. What would be your reply to that person? Like, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when someone says these, like I also got a promotion today at work? So the congratulations, right? Congratulations on your promotion. But the thing is, the point is, the your answer changed. Earlier the answer was maybe good for you, great work. Now the answer is that I also got a promotion today at work. Now why? Way to go, keep it up. But the point is, why did your reply change? The first two lines were the same. I only added a third line. Why did the reply change? The reply changed because promotion is a high priority event, and in comparison, productive day and task completion are lower priority event. So somehow, as humans, we pay attention to high priority words or high priority events, and based on that, we formulate our responses. Now, if AI models have to understand language, they also need to understand these things. So, for example, here in this sentence, I read newspaper every day. How do we know that this is read and not read? How do we know that this is read and not read? Because of the word every day, but we don't read, like, so we don't read one word at a time. Basically we pay attention to the whole sentence, and that's how. So even if every day is coming in the end, we know, because we pay attention to the whole sentence, we basically know that this is I read, and next sentence when we read, read it as I read. So this is what Google proposed, that attention is all you need to understand the language. So with this, models started understanding languages. So what are self-attention units? Attention is a way of giving priority to certain words, and it extracts information from the whole sequence and a weighted sum of all the past encoders take. Basically, we give more weightage to certain words. For example, I read newspaper every day. Every day will get more weightage than newspaper. Even if you change newspaper with any other thing, book or any other thing, it doesn't matter. This is what it is. So now, what happened after transformer and before transformer? So before transformers, model could only able to understand the relation of words that come before or after that word. But after transformer, model started understanding relation of the words with each word in the sentence. So now after transformer, model actually knows that how the word teacher is related with the word taught, with student, with the word with book. So that's how model started. So with transformer, basically model started understanding English language. So how since then, so how NLP has progressed? So one thing is sentiment analysis. What is sentiment analysis? You give certain text to computer, and computer can identify whether it's of positive sentiment or negative sentiment. Now, what is the use case? Use case is that, if Amazon wants to understand whether the review is positive or negative, or let's say brands want to understand what kind of things people are writing about them on Twitter, or let's say political parties, they want to understand what kind of things people are writing, whether positive or negative, on social media. So this is what sentiment analysis is. Now, as models started their learning journey with words, they first learned words. So then came the use case of autocorrect that we use in our WhatsApp. Then models started understanding sentences. So then came the use case of autocomplete that we use in Gmail, in Google Doc, or basically Word Doc, all there. In, and then because models started understanding all the languages together, they could also able to translate language and then text to voice. So with this, so the thing is that we have been using AI since 2017 or maybe before that, and it's actually part of our daily lives, knowingly or unknowingly we have been using. But when chat gpt came, suddenly everyone started talking about AI. Now what happened? Why chat gpt was so successful? Why? So basically, chat gpt is a large language model. So what are large language models? Basically, ChatGPT is the brand name, but the actual product or technology is large language models. It's like Colgate and toothpaste. So Colgate is the brand name, but actual product is toothpaste. Similarly, we have large language uh, models, but the actual product is large language models. And then there are various LLMs which are out there. Can you name any other large language models apart from ChatGPT or GPT series? Any open source, proprietary? Have you used any other LLM? Claude, Meta, Mistral, right? So these are the models, right? Now, what are large language models? So what happened? So transformers models started understanding language, but then what happened after? So the two things happened. One, transformers were trained on huge data, first of all. So when we say huge, how much data ChatGPT was trained on? So large language models are nothing but transformers trained on huge data. So, and when we say huge, how much huge? How many words or tokens were used to train a model like ChatGPT? Any guess? Is it in millions? Is it in billions? If it's in, then what could be the number? So ChatGPT was trained on 300 billion tokens, which is roughly equal to 225 billion words. So that was the first thing. ChatGPT in 150 billions, maybe, yeah. Basically, it's double than that, 300 billion tokens. But you were close. Now, second thing which happened was reinforcement learning from human feedback. Now, what does this mean? So, first, model was trained on huge data. So, word model acquired the world knowledge. So now model knows about physics, philosophy, poetry, code, everything. So it's like earlier with transformers, you can think of like model was like a 7 8 year old kid who knows English but lacks world knowledge. So we first provided world knowledge. So now it's like, model is like a person who knows everything, but just knowing everything is not enough. So now just consider these three. So basically this example that we gave this prompt that my house is too hot, and based on that model basically generated three answers. My criteria was helpfulness. I want model to help me. So the first answer it came up was that there is nothing you can do about hot houses. So model is not helping me. I want model to help me, but model is not helping me. Second answer it generated was you can cool your house with air conditioning. Now here model is trying to help me. And the third it generated was it is not too hot. So basically model is not even acknowledging my problem itself. So now if you see in terms of language, in terms of sentence formation, in terms of grammar, in terms of relevancy, all three sentences or all three results are correct. But the question is, are all these three acceptable to you as an answer? So obviously not, right? We can't accept. If the answer is we want some help, we will not accept. So the only answer that we could accept was second one. So then what happened? Thousands of humans actually gave their feedback. So for example, I gave the feedback that my first priority would be second sentence, first sentence would be my second priority, and third is not acceptable to me, so I gave third priority to it. And then this data was again fed to the model, and then model started understanding, okay, this is what humans want. So next time if someone asks this question, my house is too hot, the model will try to generate an answer closer to the one which gets more first ranking. So this is what reinforcement learning from human feedback is. Model started understanding this. So if you see the training data for GPT-3, it was trained on 300 billion tokens, some 1,000 to 10,000 V100 GPUs were used. It took some 1 month of training, and it somewhere costed them around $1 to $10 million. For Llama, if you see, it was trained on 1 to 1.5 trillion tokens. They used 2,488 to 2,800 GPUs. It took them 21 days of training and $5 million it costed them. In terms of data, if you see 67% of the data from the common crawl, which is from internet, then GitHub, Wikipedia, books, archive, these were the data that was used. And if you see on the right hand side column, it was almost 5 TB of data. Now can you imagine the 5 TB of text data? That amount of data was given to the model to train. So that's why suddenly, so with transformers model learned languages, then they acquired world knowledge when given lots of data, and then with reinforcement learning from human feedback, they started answering what was acceptable to humans, as in they started answer which humans want. So this is what is. And now let's come to our main topic, which is AI agents. Any questions so far? So now, what are AI agents? Can someone tell me what AI agents are and why we talk about it? So AI agents are basically LLMs with reasoning ability. What do we mean by reasoning ability is that if you give a complex problem to an AI agent, it can think through and it can basically divide it into a simple problem, or it can decide whether to do this or whether to do that. That's your reasoning ability. Second is your external application. It can also connect with any external applications to do the task for you. And third is then basically it can self reflect that whether the answer it is giving or it is generating is actually right or wrong. And if it's wrong, then it will generate it again. Just to give you an example, as we know, these models are pre-trained model. So if you ask any current affair questions, they'll not be able to answer. For example, if you ask who is the president of the US, they'll give you they'll give you the incorrect answer because this has happened like few days ago only. Now, what if these LLMs can actually access a search engine? So you ask a question, they can access a search engine, search, get the answer, and then give you. And I'll show you the demo for this. And also, let's consider what are AI agents. So there are multi AI agent system as well. Now consider that you want to plan a trip to Dubai, and you can actually get an itinerary on ChatGPT. So ChatGPT can provide you, let's say, 7 or 10 days itinerary for your Dubai trip. But the point is itinerary enough for a travel? You need to know multiple other things. For example, let's say first you want to check how the weather is. If the weather is good, then only you should plan the travel. Second, let's say you also want to know your hotel options within your budget. So let's say I'm just taking an example. Let's say you have a budget of $100. So what are your options within that budget? And third, what are your food options near that hotel? So now this is a job of a proper travel agent. Now what AI agents can do? First, it can access a weather app and it can check on those particular dates how the weather would be. If the weather is good, then only it will start planning your trip. And then it will access a hotel booking site, could be like Make My Trip, something like that, and it can basically check for hotel within your budget. And then let's say it found some 3 4 hotels, so it will store those hotels in its memory. And then for each hotel, let's say it can access Google Map, and basically it can look for the food options. And then basically it will plan the entire thing and give it to you. Now this is what the proper job of travel agent. What this is what multi AI agent systems can do. So now here, first is reasoning. So model will think that whether it should access a Google search or Wikipedia or a weather app. So it will think, and then it will access the external application. So through API and through other means, basically it can access the external application. And once it gets the answer, it will think, it will self reflect that whether this answer is correct or not, and based on that it will provide you the answer. This is what AI agents are. Any questions? So if you see, this is how the agent work. User comes and provides the request, then LLM will actually plan. Based on that, it will generate the task list and then start executing single, like one task at a time. And for that task, if it needs to access any external application, it will access that external application, get the results, and then it will basically think. And if it thinks that it needs to replan, it will again replan. Otherwise, it will respond to the user. So this is how AI agents behave. Now let's think from a developer perspective. How do we build AI agents? So now there are three main important components for agent. One is the task, second is tool, and third is memory. Task means what you, so can it also access the external applications where authentication is required? So basically you need to authenticate. It will not bypass the system. If the LLM is not authorized, then it will not access the system. So you need to, when you're providing tools, you need to either you provide API or you need to provide some other kind of authentication, then only it will access. It will not basically forcefully, it will not access. So if you have a proprietary system where you don't want LLM to interact with you, then it cannot. You need to provide some kind of authentication. So we were talking about components of agents. The first component is agent. First component is task. Task is what agents supposed to do. So we define why we are building an agent. Tool is an external application that agent can access to, and memory, as the name suggests, basically it's the memory that agent can have. It can store information, it can store previous conversation or any other thing which it wants. So tasks are the jobs that models need to perform, right? Now how do we define an agentic prompt? So this is important. So what we are doing, we are saying that you run in a loop of thought, action, pause, and observation. So basically what we are saying that anything which comes to you, you need to think, take action, then pause for a moment, observe, and then at the end of the loop you output an answer. Use thought to describe your thoughts about the question you have been asked. Use action to run one of the actions available to you. Then pause, observe the result, and then give this. So for and we give this example. So based on that, so it will basically work. This is how agents will work based on this thing. Now tools is any external application which model can access. So task comes to an LLM has tools. It can basically interact with an external environment. It can get the result from the external environment, and then based on that it can provide the answer. This is what tools are. The tool could be anything. It could be Google search, database lookup, Python interpreter, LLM math, or any website or any software application where you can for which you provide the access. Okay. Now, what are multi AI agent system? Multi AI agent system where we not only one, we create more than one agent system. For example, for the travel planning, which I gave, which I talked about earlier, there where we had three agents. One agent was you know look for the weather information, second will look for the hotel information, and third will look for the food option. So now, first one agent will work, provide the input to the second agent. Second agent will work, provide the input to the third agent, and this is how multi-AI agent system work. But this is not the only thing. Multi-agent system can be others, can take other, can be on other form as well. For example, it could be sequential, which we discussed. It could be hierarchical as well. So you could create a customer support, a multi AI agent system where one agent could act like an manager, second agent could act like a support executive, and third agent could act like a QA guy, and manager will basically be the boss of the other two. So we can have hierarchical as well, and hierarchical they can assign tasks these agents. And third system we could have is asynchronous, where we can do the task asynchronously. It's not that first output is given to the second and second's output will given to the third. So this is how the multi AI agent collaboration can happen. Now let's understand how we create agents. I'll also show you the demo. So the first is, so we are creating a support agent. We are saying the role is senior support representative. We are saying be the most friendly and helpful support representative in your team. This is your backstory, and we are seeing allow delegation false, as in it cannot delegate, so it cannot act like a manager. This is how we say this. And for creating these agents, we are using this framework called Crew AI. Crew AI is a framework. Second, we have this quality assurance agent, which will basically take you know uh, so first customer support will generate the answer. It will pass it to quality assurance. Quality assurance will check whether the answer is up to date, is acceptable or not. If it's not, then it can delegate back to the first agent. If the answer is correct, then it will show it to the user. This is how the second agent is. We are now here we can define the tools. You can see we have serve develop tools, scrap website tool, website search tool. These are the tools which AI agents can use. And then we are creating the task. So this is what model has to the agent has to work on. So the task is basically that you are saying that a detailed informative response to the customer's inquiry that addresses all aspects of their question. So we are saying that whatever customer question is, create a detailed information. And then we are creating a task for second agent that you need to basically check final detailed and informative response ready to be sent to the customer. You need to check whether in terms of quality, whether the response is correct or not. Okay. And then we create a crew where we add both the agents. So we are seeing agents, we are adding support agent and support quality assurance agent, and the task we are adding, and then we are enabling memory as true. So this is how we do it. And then once we run this crew, we get the result. Now let me show you the demo. So first, let me show you this demo for Google search. I could have, like, we are, so it will take some time. This is what we are doing. So we use LangChain. Any questions so far till the time, you know? Can you see my screen? Yes. So basically, we need to define goals and tasks in natural language only. It's basically it's like what we do in prompt engineering. We basically assign the task in natural. We don't. There is no any specific syntax. Now if we ask who is the Prime Minister of the UK, you can see the model, the answer which model gave us as of October 2021, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom is Boris Johnson. So if we simply ask, now let's create an agent, and we'll access it to, we'll provide access of Google to the agent. So if you can see through Open AI, and if you can see, we are giving SERP API. And if you see, if I run who is the Prime Minister of the UK last time, so now see how the model is thinking. Basically, if you see that how the agent is thinking, now you can say I should always think about what to do, and the action it decided that it searched and with the string Prime Minister of UK, and then it got this thing that Sir Keir Starmer. is basically became Prime Minister on July 5, 2024. So basically that, and then this is the observation, and this is how agent is thinking, that I should always think what to do. Again, this is, and then it's saying that now I know the final answer based on its observation. So the final answer is the current Prime Minister of the UK, and this is what it displayed. So now this is an agent which can search on Google and provide you the answer. So question is reinforcement learning. How do we measure, quantify the accuracy of the results? The same thing, the way we, so basically for NLP, or basically for evaluating LLM response, we have certain evaluation metrics like MMLU and other things. They are, so based on those metrics we actually we define whether the mod, how much accuracy model is, basically what is the accuracy of the model. In multi-agent, do we need to define which agent needs to interact with others? Yes, we need to define, we need to define that, whether, so if it, what would, like, which agent would be the first one, and then if the, and which would be the second one. So we need to define if we are this thing, then only will, otherwise it will become, not structured. Now let me show you another. Now, can you see my screen for multi-AI agent system customer support? So this is what we'll do. We'll do. What we'll do, we'll first define an AI agent, then we define the task, we specify the tools, and then we create a crew. And then this would be the same thing which I showed you. So we are creating a multi-AI agent system for customer support automation. First one is your support executive, and third one is your quality analyst. So let me, if you see, once we run all these things, so what we are saying, and we are using OpenAI key. So the first one is your senior support representative. We are saying be the most friendly and helpful support representative in your team. This is our first, and we are saying allow delegation false, as in it cannot delegate back. And then for the second, we are not specifying allow delegation, so it can delegate back. So it's a support quality assurance agent. Role is support quality assurance specialist. Get recognition for providing the best support quality assurance in your team. So this is how we have defined our agents. Tools, we have given serve dev tool, scrap website tool, and website. So these are the tools. Model will decide which tool to use when we ask. Now what we are doing, we are providing a URL. This URL has the course details of my course. So I've provided the details here, and we are saying that, if any user comes and ask a question, go to scrap the content from this URL, and then from that content provide the answer. And then we have created the task that, when some customer reached out with a super important task, and this is the question, this is the person who has reached out. Now make sure to use everything to provide the best support possible. And this is what the expected outcome is: a detailed, informative response to the customer's inquiry that addresses all aspects of their question. This is, and then this is the quality assurance task that review the response drafted by the senior support representative, ensure that the answer is comprehensive, accurate, and adheres to the high quality standards expected for customer support. And what is the output? A final, detailed, and informative response ready to be sent to the customer. So this is what we expect from this thing. Then we create the crew. Now here we are saying support agent. So this will run first, and then we are adding support quality assurance as second. So this will run second. and then we are adding the task, and then we are enabling the memory in case agents need to understand anything. Now when we say that this is the customer from this company, and this is that the inquiry that I need help with the course offered by AIML, etc., what are the concepts covered in the course? Now if you see how the agent is thinking. Now, agent is thinking that I need to gather information about the courses offered by AIML, etc., in order to provide Nikhil Sharma with the best support possible. So, what is the action it wants to take? It wants to read the website. And what is the URL? URL is this. So, now it will go there, and basically it has scrapped all the content. Now, if you can see, it has basically scrapped all the content which was there. And then once the is scrapped, now if you see, it has generated a final answer, and then based on this, basically it has generated the answer, and then it has basically it has given to the uh, quality assurance, and then quality assurance has actually considered the answer, and based on that, it further drafted a reply, and then based on this, they gave the answer. So this is how the train is, and this is what the answer we get. So this is how multi AI agent system work. Any questions on this? So this is me. I am done. I have just a fun fact. Basically, this is what I do. As I said, we have designed specific AI and generative AI courses for senior IT professionals, people who have like 10 years of experience. We teach them. We are building an edtech platform for them. I have a fun fact for you that NLP research was first funded by which organization? I'll also share my LinkedIn profile after that. So, and if you want, I can share these two code labs with you as well, so you can try. But before that, anyone? Yeah, I'll share these Jupyter notebooks. I'll share. So, any guess? This is a little tricky, but any guess that who first funded NLP research? Any guess? So this is slightly tricky. Any random guess? Oxford Dictionary. That's a unique guess which I have seen so far. The answer is US military. So the problem they were facing was that they wanted to analyze lots of call recordings for security purposes, and in order to do that, if they have to do it manually, like they had to hire multiple people who know multiple languages. That was tricky, and even if they hire multiple people, they had to manually listen to the calls, and they might miss anything which is important. So for that reason, US military wanted to automate the process, and that's why they gave funding, and then research was started. So if you can see, so now if you want, you guys can connect with me on LinkedIn, and I can, if you want the note, link for the Jupyter notebook, I'll share there as well. So this is me, Nikhilesh, and now I'm happy to answer any of your questions.
With that, we have a quick survey form Please give us the feedback about our events that we've been conducting and what you're interested in future so that accordingly we can program the events. Uh, yeah, I'm sharing the link in the chat section too. So you have to enter the code 24341 and then add the details of it. So and yes. So final call. Please drop all your questions in the chat section, and Nikhilesh can help answer them. Else, you can connect Nikhilesh on LinkedIn. He can help you there as well. Okay. Looks like we are all good. Nikhilesh, let's call for the wrap.
Yeah, great.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll have at another session again planned with Nikhilesh. Thank you, Nikhilesh, for doing this. It was a great interactive session and looking forward for more. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thanks,
much.
Vayu. Thanks, Parth. Thanks for having me. And yeah, so I look forward for another session as well. Thanks a lot.
Great. Thank you, everyone.